This episode of the Play the Game podcast is brought to you by LoneWolfPaintball.com. And when it comes to paintball, Lone Wolf is the name you can trust. They have been in the game since the very beginning as Michigan's premier field and supplier since 1987, and Lone Wolf has built a legacy of excellence, passion, and service that runs deep in the game. From their top-tier customer service to same-day shipping on all orders, Lone Wolf makes sure that you are locked and loaded with your new gear fast. No waiting around, no hassle, just the best brands in paintball delivered straight to your door. They've got it all. Markers, loaders, tanks, apparel, accessories, and more from all of your favorite brands. And whether you're just getting started in the game or gearing up for your next big event, LoneWolfPaintball.com has everything you need. Be sure to check out their YouTube channel at Lone Wolf Paintball and follow them on Instagram at Lone Wolf PB to stay up to date on all the latest gear, exclusive sales, and community content. At Play the Game Podcast, we are incredibly grateful for Lone Wolf's continued support, and we cannot wait for you to become a part of their growing community. Head on over to LoneWolfPaintball.com right now and gear up with the best in the game. PTG family, thank you so much for being here. Are you interested in getting your brand in front of the Play the Game community? We are opening up advertising opportunities on the Play the Game podcast, and if you've got a company, a product, or a brand you want to promote to our passionate and growing community, this is your chance. Please send us over a message on Instagram at Play the Game Podcast to learn how we can collaborate and help you grow your business through the PTG platform. Once again, head over to Instagram, send us a message at Play the Game Podcast, and we look forward to connecting and helping you build something truly amazing together.
What's going on, PTG Nation? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This episode, Tyler and myself sit down and break down all of the off-season news, rumors, notes. We go over a little bit of the 2025 season and talk about all the exciting stuff coming up for the 2026 season. This is a fun, quick little holiday episode that you guys do not want to miss. So without further ado, we're going to hop in the show.
That was an insane inside move by Marcello. Great communication.
And the crowd starts chanting Harmon.
Great shot by all the guys, though. Tyler Harmon saved that game.
He came out with 2 wins. Marcello Margot was on fire.
What's up, PTG world? We hope you're doing amazing out there. It's March. It's T. We're back at it again, episode number 317, and we have a lot of crazy stuff on the horizon for 2026 with all the new, team acquisitions, mergers. There's going to be some possible new rules. We have a lot to cover on this episode. So if you're joining us on YouTube, we just threw that up on the screen. I love that. Like, subscribe, go show some love. And if you're listening on the audio, thank you for religiously tuning into PTG. We appreciate you and love you out there. March, how you doing, bro?
Good, brother. Yeah. This last week was nice. Thanksgiving, holiday time, weekend.
Yeah.
Just took it incredibly slow. Actually, we had Piper over the weekend, and as you know, she's getting a little older. She had a little procedure last week, and it was actually right before Sahar and I went on vacation. Her mom took her to the vet. She ended up having to stay overnight, and so I know she was just terrified because Piper last few months she literally won't leave your side. She'll just start barking. She's afraid to be alone. But they had to leave her there overnight, do a procedure on her, pull a tooth. This is whole thing. Yeesh. And since she's been back, she's extra. You literally cannot leave her side. So
she wants snuggles. Yeah, she wants to hang out.
Yeah. So Saturday, and it's crazy. Before, she would be comfortable on the couch, so you could put her on the couch. Get some stuff done in the living room or whatever. You could just kick back on the couch, be on your phone, watch TV, but she doesn't even like the couch now. Her only safe space is the bedroom. So Saturday I spent literally all day in the bed with her. I was just on the iPad trying to get work done and just watching Netflix. And it was actually really nice. I was this was a really relaxing Saturday, because Sahar had work. So she started work at 9:00. So I woke up super early, went to the gym, got home before that, and then just was in bed all day. It was kind of nice.
She's an amazing dog, and like you said, she's getting older, sweetheart. And I don't know what you're going through because my dog's young, but we had when we went to Florida for World Cup, we let Honey stay with one of our friends when we got home, it's like glued to the hip, so I'm sure
Oh yeah, she
they
was
just,
probably afraid, Yeah.
yeah, they miss their parents, they want to
Yeah.
be right next to them.
Oh, for sure. When I found out, because like I said, it was the Wednesday that we left for our trip. I was like, why is your mom taking her to the vet now? Like, what if we get bad news? It's gonna be terrible for
Mhm.
the trip. Like, let's just not can't we
Well,
wait till
thankfully,
Monday?
yeah.
And
She's doing good though. She's on the mend.
she
Doing
is.
all right.
Yeah.
All
She's
right.
doing good. I mean, she's 15. She's an older dog, so
Yeah.
But yeah, it's to then get the news of they had to keep her overnight. I was just picturing the whole time how scared she was, because she just doesn't like other she's so old now and in her ways, she like doesn't like other dogs, she doesn't like other people.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
But no, she's
Yeah.
doing all right.
Good. Yeah, we've just been laying low. Had some Thanksgiving festivities just with the fam here, and it was actually really
Nice.
relaxing. Leading into World Cup, it's relentless work for well over a month or more.
It's
Even
ridiculous. Yeah.
as soon as you get out of the tournament before Cup, it's just straight into relentless work for that. So it's nice to have some quality family time. But once again, it's, straight back to business. It's,
Yeah.
we're moving into December and January, and before you know it, it's February and you're getting ready for practice again. So the work
Yeah.
never really stops with our line of work. We get December, which is pretty nice, but we
We
still,
get December, dude. Yeah.
yeah, you and I, we still are, thinking about the game, head out to
Yeah.
the field, I'm sure, and do some light work and have some fun. But it's a blessing, man, for us to be able to be just fully encapsulated in this professional sport that we love so much, and be helping to hopefully drive it into new frontiers and get it in front of more eyeballs, so that people know, still to this very moment in time, March, people don't really know pro paintball exists, but we're doing everything that we can to hopefully change that.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, people don't. Again, we were in Mexico and we were sitting at the swim up bar, and I had my necklace on, and this group of guys was sitting across the way, and they were like kind of like looking over, and then one of them comes over and they're like, "All right, we got a bet going on. What's a necklace for?" And I kind of chuckled. I was like, "Oh, it's my favorite number. It's just a lucky number." And he's like, "Is it how old you are?" And I'm like, "Not anymore." It was a few years ago.
So someone had a
And then
bet that it was your age. That's crazy. They
yeah,
were
yeah,
like,
exactly. And then another one, they thought it was baseball.
yeah,
And I said paintball, and they were like, one of the guys that was sitting, he stayed across the bar. He's like, ping pong, and he started laughing, and I'm like, fuck, not ping pong. Although maybe they make more money, I don't know.
yeah.
But then they came over and they heard paintball, and they were honestly fascinated by it. Like they
Everyone
followed
is.
on all the socials. I showed them what it was, and they were
Yeah.
just like absolutely fascinated by it. I'm like, God, yeah, people they still don't understand. It is such a cool sport. It's a great sport. It's the best sport.
Yeah.
I do want to back to like what you were saying about the off season. Someone
Mhm.
just asked me, I think it was yesterday. They were like, "Oh, you want to go play Wednesday?" And I just laughed. I'm like, "No." They're like, how about that? Like, I'm sorry. No, I don't, dude. My knee is still like hurting. I
The
think
the the Discord was wondering if you wanted to play in that tournament that's this weekend.
oh
So that,
yeah, the 10-man thing. I was like, they asked me months ago. I'm like, I'm not playing right after World Cup. There's just no chance. And to be honest, I think World Cup will be the last time I play in 2025. I think it's a decent way to go out. I might maybe one like Saturday in December, but honestly, you're right, Ty. Like what is required to go into the final stretch of the season, both like just on your body, at least, for me personally,
yeah.
you're kind of a freak of nature, but we're getting older. We're getting a little older.
Oh,
I know
I'm
you've had some
feeling it.
dings and bruises. Yeah, exactly. It's not quite like it used to be. But
Yeah.
man, this one yesterday, no joke, yesterday I think is the first day that I haven't been like limping since World Cup, which is kind of crazy. It was just demanding, dude. Demanding the whole thing. Damage plays a lot of points to it. Practice. That's a pace that haven't been used to the last few years. I mean, it's both good and bad. It's like it's great to get the looks. A lot of like grit and sweat goes into those practices, but at the same time, we're not as young as we used to be. So definitely right now, I think for me, and I wanted to talk to you about this, Ty, for off season, because I think it's important for all the listeners too, like how you approach each off season. Both of us have had probably every type of off season you could have. I've had off seasons where the only thing I want to do is work on all my deficiencies from the year. You're trying to get ahead of the next year. But I feel like as we get older, my number one focus is coming into the next season with a healthy body. And so it's less time at the field, honestly. And it's a lot of time with recovery and maintenance and trying to, be in the gym and make sure that I just feel good. How about you?
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to make sure that when you enter into the upcoming season, you're at least, 90, 95. Maybe if you're lucky, you're feeling great and, all good. But as we get older, if it's not one thing, it's another. It's like one day I'll have like something I'm like, damn, my knee feels crazy. Then my shoulder, like, what's happening? And then like I'm like, oh my God, my calf is cramped out, and like I gotta really work on this. But it
Yeah.
is work, and you have to treat it as such. And you know, you gotta have the foam rollers, you gotta be doing the stretches, you gotta be working through all the things to make sure that the machine is ready to roll. Yeah, I'm 36 now, and definitely don't feel like I'm in my 20s anymore.
Yeah.
I'm staring down the barrel of 40 here, not too far out. I'm going to be 37 coming up here, and yeah, just a few more years to 40. So it's definitely a different type of system, but the intention and the hope to, obviously, like you said, go into the next season feeling damn near 100%, and yeah, try to get some light work in at the field. I actually have the Cactus crew. They're chomping at the bit to play winter ball out here, so
For sure.
they're ready to go. We have like a coalition of people from BKW out in Tucson and AZ Battle Zone, and we got just a great group of paintball players out here in the desert that I'm so grateful for. And shout out to all the pockets throughout California, the Southwest, all over the country that are putting in that work and have just amazing communities, because that's really what we are going to have to focus on as we move into the future is really building out strong communities. I think, obviously there's always uncertain times. Nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. Nothing's promised, but what we can assure is that our local parks and fields and our local communities are strong, and we do everything in our power to help facilitate that type of energy out there. If you see someone doing crazy stuff, try to mitigate that, and really create a space that is going to be conducive for us to have longevity in this sport, even through the highs and the lows, because the economy goes bad and paintball is one of the first things to go. Or if it's great, it's booming, right? There's thousands and thousands of participants, new people, but we can always make sure our communities are a great place to be.
Yeah, no doubt. Definitely. I don't know if it's a scary time for paintball, but it's definitely one of the more uncertain times that I think we've had in a long while. This offseason especially has been crazy. I know we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
All of the moves are pretty wild, but it's also like partially a sign of again, like you mentioned, maybe the broader economy and seeing someone like Sarge step away from the game. That could be financially related, maybe not. It could also just be that they are simply somewhat over it, which is very possible as well. I feel like that writing has been on the wall for a couple years now for whatever reason. So it might not be a sign of the economy, or it may. Who knows? Again, that's not for me to say, but either way, when you see something like that in the sport, and then you pair that, if it was only that, maybe we would be thinking differently, but you pair that with like all the teams that might no longer be existing and all the,
It's definitely unique. It's a unique off
it's
season for
unique.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's kind of go through some of the stuff.
That's what I think. That's kind of what you were alluding to when we started, talking about this, is that this offseason for both of us as well, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying with Impact. You're staying with Damage. There's always this craziness that comes with the offseason for the most part. And this one is going to be, at least for us, a little bit calmer. But I know that there are a lot of players on the market right now that are looking for homes or not sure what's going to be happening in their homes.
Right.
So it's, in that regard, one of the most unique off seasons and craziest off seasons we've seen in a while, with the mergers and, like you said, teams just completely falling out. And we have a couple spots that are still up for grabs in the pro circuit that we're going to have to fill or find a way to, see who's going to be in those spots.
Yeah. Okay. So like kind of just to go through it, I think we're still waiting to hear what Tauntauns are going to do. Because that creates a massive, explosion of players. If Tauntauns are no longer competing, teams like yourselves, I've heard, X Factor, and a few others are obviously going to be going after like Axel and Hugo, maybe, I'm not sure if Colombo will find a home. Who knows? I mean, he definitely is worthy. He's one of the greats. It's just sometimes those top teams already have that position filled. So that will create kind of a chaotic dispersion of players of high end talent too. Fetty was the first to go to the Hurricanes, which I think that's an insane move as well. I think it honestly kind of makes the Hurricanes, as long as Fedorov plays again, the way he did this year, I mean, it makes them a contender. He was really a force multiplier out there, and the Hurricanes, they're a solid, consistent team. So his style actually, I think, will complement what they do very well. If they can kind of play off of that. And it'll give them a much more balanced attack. So I think that, helps the Hurricanes a lot. I think it's really exciting. We should try to get that new owner on the show because he sounds pretty cool. I love what he's trying to build there, trying to make it really professional, build out a badass facility. I guess they put like a couple $1 million into having housing and everything right on site so that you can, come in, come out, it's clean, it's nice, it's new. I believe he wants all the players to fly to Texas at least twice a month to train. So they're going to be training a lot, playing a lot of paintball. I do wonder how that's going to work for Fedorov if he's going to have to do that. Because my understanding is he still lives in Russia, right? Or is he in Ukraine?
I'm not sure, to be honest. He's
I'm not.
He was
either.
living here and going back, so he might just stay out here. We'll see.
Maybe.
See what he does.
Yeah. True. And actually, there's probably a path there with this owner. He might be able to work something out with a work visa.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's obviously massive. Aftershock, what's going to happen with them? They had a pretty solid core that really, in my opinion, the only reason they underperformed is because that core kind of lost interest in paintball. And I mean, look, I get it. A-Rod is pursuing a music career. He's highly talented. I don't know if you guys have listened to his music, but it's, maybe it's not your genre that you like. I personally really like it. I think he has a great voice. He's honest. He's really
he crushes it. Yeah.
He crushes it. He really does.
Yeah.
And so, you could tell like he just wasn't all in on paintball. Same thing with Thomas Kim. When he's really invested in the game, he's one of the better players out there. Obviously, this year he has been pursuing becoming a pilot. He's done that, but he's, had to miss a ton of time. Corey Hall, definitely not quite the same Corey Hall that we've seen in years past. When he's on his game, he's one of the best players in the league. So it was, kind of a bummer to see that with that group, but I think that led to the results that they had. And,
which is crazy to me. Their roster is just fucking stacked, dude.
It is. Yeah.
That's what was like, I couldn't wrap my brain around why that group wasn't producing the way that I know that they could,
Well, that's why. Yeah. I mean, the talent has to work hard. The talent has to work hard. That's why they did produce and they made it to a finals the first year because they were all on the same page and invested. And then, that kind of unraveled over time. It's just the reality. Real life gets in the way. I don't think they were making a ton of money from Aftershock. I don't think Todd's throwing around, $50,000 salaries, $100,000 salaries. So with that said, those players were also pursuing real careers outside of the game. And you can't really fault them for that. But I do think it's fair. You got to then allow Todd to free up those spots and really build a camp from within. Cause Todd is all in, Adamson, he's all in on the program and wants to do whatever he can to build, that group. And so, again, the fit model it's a great model for the game right now. You even see Uprising posting about it. They've had, a good amount of success. Like it is a great model to be able to build from within and build homegrown. I don't think it's as easy as Fit made it look. I think Fit made it look way easier than it is. That's the thing.
They get the game too. They
totally. They get the game, they're students. I do still think what they did is one of the anomalies in the game. Experience, I do believe, will prevail more often than not, but they have a good mix of both now. They've expedited the experience just by being great students. They've shown it's possible. And that alone is enough to have owners be like, maybe this is a better way than, trying to grab a bunch of superstars, which has not worked in the last couple of years. That model has actually been a little broken as well, not as dominant as it was in like 2016, 17, 18,
it seemed to just work just fine for you guys.
First time it has in a long time. But, to be honest, like there's such a chunk of damage that is a core family. It's like not really a collection.
Well, you can't argue the fact that the acquisitions that they made with Chris Shear, with you, with Mouse, I mean, that's a crazy pickup. That's
absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's
gonna pay big dividends on the field.
Yeah. Well, of course. Again, when you're constructing a roster, you have to take a lot into consideration. How's the on-field chemistry? Like Chris and I have played together for a long time. Mouse and I have a lot of history. I have history with the Damage guys. We played on Team USA together. I've been out there a bunch of the Wrecking Crew practices, and those guys all have a system. And when you're there, it does not feel like a group of randoms that are together. It feels like such a tight-knit group, because it is the entire core.
Everyone knows each other.
7-8 guys that have been playing together for 15 years, So
of course.
So in that regard, it's like a blend. It's like a blend team, I would say, of homegrown and superstars, and their homegrown guys are the superstars too. It's like,
well, I feel the same exact way about Impact. Like, it's like, the core's been together forever, and then we've added a couple pieces, and it is a nice blend for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
100%. We're doing the coffee blends now. We're blending it.
You got it. Well, so let's talk about that. I mean, that's something like Mikey Rena. I mean, I don't think he's found a home, but that's something where I was like, that would be an interesting pickup for Fit to, because he's in the Houston area. He's in Texas already. He's local.
Yeah.
And he kind of just fits that mold, wants to play all the time, would be there all the time.
Yeah.
And it would be a nice little upgrade for their group. And like the first time they kind of bring someone in, I mean, yeah, I'm sure Mikey has a ton of options. I'm
without a doubt,
very curious to kind of talk to him and see where his head's at and all this. Got a lot.
Do you think he's going to go back to Dynasty?
I mean, I think it would be a cool move. I did. Yeah. I texted Ryan right away, and I'm like, "Don't fumble this, but grab Mikey like immediately." Grab Mikey immediately.
Yeah.
But they have a lot of guys, and they don't like to make.
That's
cuts.
The crazy thing is they just merged with
yeah.
even more guys. Now they have double.
They have a lot of guys. Yeah. Like my understanding is ABJ and Omara are confirmed. I don't think that's been posted anywhere publicly, but I believe those two are actually confirmed. And I'm not sure if anyone else from Arsenal is, but even picking up those two, like Dynasty has a very full roster. But yeah, I mean,
on the Snake side, ABJ is already, and they already have Danny. They got Artie. They get stacked on that side.
They are. Mikey does play the Doritos very well too. Mikey is a Dynasty guy, in my opinion. He had his best years on Dynasty. That's, I don't know, actually. I thought this last World Cup, and specifically the World Cup before, Mikey played like stellar for Impact. Stellar. I really thought he was moving and grooving at a high level. But he had like insane events with Dynasty too. So I think that system's comfortable for him. It really depends on what Mikey needs. I don't know his situation. I know he has a good job, I don't think he needs a ton of money from paintball. I don't think he's ever been in it for that. I think he cares about winning. So,
of course. Yeah, I think that's a interesting idea. Fit, that seems like a good spot. And they have the depth, but he's right there. They have everything they need, but this could be an accentuation of the already powerful squad, putting him in there.
Yeah, I mean, Scott Stewart had a phenomenal year. It just gives them it gives them a little change of pace on that side,
True.
Which, I think you're seeing right now. Like it took us a little bit to figure out really how to use it, but and I still don't think we've unlocked how to fully use it, but having like Keith and Mouse, who play two very different paces on the Snake side, really dangerous. I mean, that's insanely powerful to be able to pair those two and even have them on the field at the same time. It's like wild,
it's crazy.
You stop one of them, how are you going to stop the other one?
Well, that's why I got lucky in Texas. I made a couple like good shots down the wire, but I was like, oh God, I got to battle. I got to battle both these guys.
That wasn't luck, man. Yeah, you made a lot of great shots that event. That event was again, we kind of talked about this. Just when you're feeling it, you're feeling it out there.
And you know exactly. It's just it's a cadence. Like you get into a rhythm, and then it's good to go. Yeah. We gotta say congratulations to Paintball Fit on taking the series championship for this season. That is no light feat to accomplish, and there's only literally a handful of teams that have ever done it in the history of professional paintball. So what they accomplished there is not something to be taken lightly, and gotta tip the hat on that one. Paintball Fit, congrats on that.
No, 100%. And, like I said, it's definitely a bummer to win the first two events and then not win World Cup and win the series. Like
But to
that
even
is
go to the finals at Cup is like
no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. I'm not taking anything away from what they did or accomplished. I'm not trying to do that. But
Yeah.
if you ask them, I promise
Oh,
they're
of
like,
course. Of
yeah,
course.
shit. Like you want to win World Cup.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Dynasty had that insane year actually when you got on the team. It was like 2013 where you
13,
like
yeah.
you won like the first like 3 events in a row. I
Yeah.
think one might have been in Europe and then kind of trailed off. And it was like,
Yeah. We won the series, but we
it felt
didn't.
like Dynasty had a bad year, but they didn't. You know, it's just like
Mhm.
the end. You know, World Cup is obviously so weighted. But let's go through and congratulate actually all the divisions. So you know, shout out to the Heroines, Anthony and Lori. What they do for the game is just absolutely incredible. They won World Cup. The Heroines won the season title as well. Femme Fatale in second place, you know, and that's obviously Todd Adamson and Tammy. So shout out to them too. You know, those are you know, 4 people that are absolutely titans in the sport and do so much behind the scenes that most people don't know. So love to see them have success. And then in third place was Dallas Vibe, obviously. You know, they play out a paintball fit and another, you know, group that really does so much for the game. So congratulations to the WNXL teams, you know, that all place there. And yeah, looking forward to seeing you all ball in the next year. Semi-pro Jungle Cats. So they are the #1 team.
The Jungle Cats, they're going pro, baby.
They're going pro. They did not win World Cup, but they won the series title. They got a second place in Tampa, second place in Atlantic City, first place in Cincinnati, second at Lone Star, and fifth at World Cup. But it was enough to win the series championship. So yes, congrats to them. We're going to see the Jungle Cats in the pro division. LA Collision was second overall. And they got 7th at World Cup. Shout out to Mike Hinman. I know he's going to be, you know, I'm curious to see what Mike's going to do. We should get him on the show here pretty soon too. There were talks that he was looking to purchase a spot, but then I heard not, you know, so we shall see. Same with Wrecking Crew. You know, Wrecking Crew had a tough year. They started out, went 5th, then 7th, then 3rd, then 18th. Probably one of the worst showings Wrecking Crew has had in the 7 years that I've worked with them. I mean, that was a terrible showing in Texas. And then a first at World Cup. So they ended on a high note. They put in a ton of work going into the, you know, final event, had me out multiple times. You know, it was kind of nice being able to reconnect with them. For many years in the past at events, I'll try to break away at least one of the nights, go have a meeting with them. And really, you know, this year I hadn't been doing that. And at World Cup, we were able to connect again. You know, I was able to go over to their house a couple times. They stayed through in Florida. So we had like the Monday, Tuesday before Cup as well, which was just good to be on the same page with them, you know? And so curious to see, we actually have a meeting tonight, kind of decide what the team's going to do, but it sounds like they're going to do another year in semi-pro and try to earn it, which, you know, I think that's probably the right thing.
Damn, I love that. I love that. Let's go, Wrecking Crew.
100%.
For you. Yeah.
Commanders Cup, X-Ball. This was fucking hilarious to watch. Did you watch these games?
It was hyped. Yeah.
Yeah, it was hyped. And I'm not talking about like the players. It was hilarious watching the crowd, dude. Yeah, man. Like sideline coaching is just brutal, man. It brought me back to the early 2000s again. It's like, oh yeah, man, so much fun, so much action. Ooh. I was sitting in, you know, pit side the whole time, just really enjoying those games. So shout out to the Marines. They got first place. Navy took second. Army 3rd, and Air Force 4th.
Yeah, those were so much fun to watch, man. And you have like PTSD almost from the early years, like you're saying.
Yes.
Like I was like, oh my God, I remember how brutal this was.
Yes.
So you would have counter coaching, people getting into scuffles on the sideline because they're like, shut up. Yo, why are you saying that? You know?
100%. Yeah. Just absolute chaos. It made me reconsider my position of like having the crowd participation. I was like, I don't know if we want that. I still think that the way, if you want to do it right, you have the field, you know, at field level, and then you have the stands not only elevated, but pretty far back. And then you allow them to, you know, talk, because on the field, you would miss a lot of, you know, the distraction. But
well, in Tampa, we're going to be in the arena at Tampa. We'll kind of dive into that here, but I'm sure there's going to be people, they're going to be getting hyped in the stands.
Yeah.
Having fun.
I'm curious how they're going to do Go Sports, because how do you set it up for that part of the tournament and then also for the other? Because I know that it takes like days of setup. So I'm curious how they're going to do both.
Well, I would assume they're probably going to try to use the infrastructure in place, you know, and they'll have the production crew. We have a very top tier production crew that has stepped into Go Sports, and I don't know, maybe they'll allow them to possibly use some of the infrastructure there.
Oh man, I would doubt it.
You never know. You
Yeah,
just
you never know. You would never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
We'll
All
see.
right, D2 X Ball. Shout out to Quinn Nadu and the newbies. They were sandbagging all year in D2 and won the series. And they are bumping back up to semi-pro. And I believe they got Damian Vasquez back, and he should be healthy for the next season. So that's pretty cool. Louisville Asylum, 2nd place overall. And Rejects out of Florida, 3rd place overall. And Division 3 X Ball, we got NR Factory taking the series title, and they won World Cup. There you go, boys. Nice job. AG Knights, they're out of Boston Paintball. Got a lot of love for those guys. They got 2nd place overall. They did win an event. They won Atlantic City, and Gulf Coast Ragtag Army in 3rd. All right, Division 4, we've got Gunners in 1st place overall. They won Tampa, and that was it. 3rd place at World Cup. Nice job. D4 winners. Filthy, which is a great team coached by Splitty and Steve from Wrecking Crew. They got 2nd place overall. They did win the Atlantic City event, and Smoke Red in 3rd. And
I worked with Filthy quite a bit. They're a great group.
Oh yeah, you were out there too. That's right. Ty. Yeah,
Let's go, Filthy.
And then Division 5. Protocol D5, they won this series. They won Tampa, Atlantic City, and World Cup. Those were the 3 events they played. So nice job, fellas. And then Space Monkeys D5, they got 2nd place overall. It looks like they only played 2 events. And then LA Extreme, they won the Lone Star. Yeah, so shout out to all the D5 teams getting your feet wet. Veterans X Ball. We got Veteran Militia. And we're not going to go into the amateur 10-man and all that stuff, but congratulations, everybody.
Yes, congrats everybody. There's actually a lot of divisions. Yeah, AM 10-man. They got
many divisions, dude.
Mounds, Open 7-man, Division 3 5v5.
We can't.
Holy smokes! Yeah, you got the 5v5s.
Raiders in here.
The list doesn't end. They have so many different divisions.
I know. Amateur 3v3, Docs Raiders won. So Docs Raiders are back. I didn't even realize that.
Yo, I got to shout out the youth beginners, the YPL All-Stars, NOLA Savages. Let's go, beginners. Go out there and play, have fun. Bear Ridge kids. That's what it's all about. We got to support the youth. That's what I was talking about earlier, man. We got to make sure these fields are worthy of the kids and the newcomers that want to get into the game and enjoy it. Make sure the field and the locations and the atmosphere is worthy of these new people coming into the game. All right, let's see. We still got a lot to talk about with team stuff too. We dove into a couple there. Chicago, Tauntaun's very interesting story there. We're going to see what's happening. Who are they going to merge with? That's what I'm curious. What team are they merging with? Because that's what the talk's all about.
Right. Yeah, I heard Aftershock early on, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So I don't know. I don't know.
We could see the Tauntauns playing in Europe only, quite possibly. We'll be sure to keep everyone posted as that news develops. Paintball Fit, we'll just start from the top. I don't think that they're going to be making some big changes. Maybe an addition of a Mikey Arena or something of that nature. It makes sense, Once again, Red Legion, Mishka's on the market, possibly adding him. That makes sense.
I heard Mishka's going to stay with Heat. He's one of the players they're going to rebuild around him.
Beautiful.
Moorhead. Yeah, that's what I heard.
That's
him going to Red Legion made the most sense to me as well, but it doesn't.
Well, if the team broke apart, then yeah, that would make sense. But that is amazing news. And I'm sure there's so many people out there that are just excited to hear that.
None of this is confirmed. Yeah,
I know, but it's good that it's, things are leaning in that direction from what it feels like. And once again, we'll be sure to keep you guys posted as we hear the news as it breaks. But yeah, that's a crazy development. Houston Heat's one of the cornerstones of professional paintball and top tier professional paintball. Mm-hmm. So even just the fact that they had a merger this season is pretty wild news. Yeah. Any other news on Fit or Red Legion? I don't think so. Pretty quiet.
Yeah, no. And it's strange because I know Red Legion is looking for that, 5th starter. So it seems like they're not making a lot of progress, but who knows? It's still pretty damn early in the off season.
Yeah.
I imagine the next couple weeks, news will start being broke.
Yeah, December is always crazy because you're getting ready for the holidays. You're like trying to enjoy time with your family, and
But
you
you also need to know what's happening the next year. It's
yeah.
like practice is right around the corner. That January offseason practice is right around the corner.
Yeah, months are deceiving because you look at a month, you're like, I got this whole month, but it's just a matter of days. Those things fly by as we are all
Fly by, dude.
finding out more and more each day as it just flies by. All right, so next up, we got X Factor. They took third place for the season. Congrats to them on that accomplishment. Top 3 in the world is no easy feat as well. I know that they're still hunting that dub that I think was it 2018 with Archie?
19.
19.
Yeah, they won.
That's
They
right.
won
19.
back-to-back events, right? Yeah,
Yep.
Philly and Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2019.
So it's been 6 years since they've gotten to first place, and they're hungry, man. You could tell that camp is just ferociously hungry. They want to win at all costs.
They were
And
so close this year a couple times. There were a couple events where they looked like they could, obviously
yeah.
against you guys in Texas, they looked like they could maybe do it. And then at World Cup, they looked like they were, having one of those Sundays. I thought it was going to be, them in the finals.
Yep.
But fit again, just kind of stood tall.
Yeah, they're playing great paintball. So X Factor, I'm sure they're going to be looking to they're looking to, bolster the roster and make it stronger. We'll see if they do
Axel
anything.
makes a lot of sense for them, obviously, because, previously
Mm-hmm.
played with them. He understands the system. Ryan Brand, I think, got the most out of Axel. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense if the Tauntauns don't find a way to stick together.
Yeah, definitely. And then us, Impact, we took fourth. We just had a little bit of a shakeup. Tyler Panlilio is going to be taking the season, working on his profession. And then Mikey Arena, obviously, the news broke. And then Zupa as well, I don't believe is going to be on the roster for the next season.
Mm-hmm.
So I think as we stand right now with the acquisition of Connor Keller, we have 8. So we're sitting at 8 for the next season. And yeah, we'll see what's going to happen here in the next couple weeks.
Who you guys going to pick up? Who are you looking at?
Bro, who wants to come try out? Let's go. Step on the field. Step on the field.
Come on.
Honestly, if we do, that's great. If we don't, I'm completely happy with the 8 that we have. And I think that we could give anybody a run with the 8 players that we have stepping onto that field right now. So
it's a great number, man. As long as everyone stays healthy and doesn't have to miss events for like life stuff, 8's a good number. Really is.
I like 9. I do like 9. I think 9 is a comfortable spot. You just need one pickup to have 2 full squads and run against each other if you need to. So I do like 9, but like I said, the 8 players that we do have, they can stand up.
I love 12. I love a full roster if it's managed properly. In all honesty,
yeah, exactly.
Exactly. It's just sometimes it gets difficult. The more that are on a roster, it's like enticing for coaches, and it's like sometimes.
But if you have, that's exact. You said it perfectly, Marcello. Sometimes it's mismanaged, but if it's managed properly and everybody's on the same page, if everybody's on, because what you can't have is selfish players. You have to have you don't see how many players are on an NFL roster. You know what I mean? How many players are on an NBA roster? But they have depth. There's depth, and all the players are signed up for the same reason. I want to see my brother. I want to see my sister win. I want to see my counterpart who's in this with me be successful. If you have that kind of a mindset and you're not selfish, yeah, we want depth. We want creativity. Right. You have so many different looks with different characters, and especially in the modern day of paintball where everything is under such a microscope. It pays to have these nuanced little differences because you're going to get a little different out of this, then a little different out of that, and you can play that accordingly.
No, I definitely agree. It's kind of like the NFL you see this year. There's been a lot of backup quarterbacks that have come in and had a lot of success. Joe Flacco's one of them. Mac Jones for the 49ers. And then when interviewed, obviously reporters want to press and they're like, well, don't you think you deserve a starting spot? Or, are you worried about, Brock Purdy coming back? And Mac Jones had a great response. He's like, no, my job here is to support him if he can't be on the field. And when he is on the field, I also support him. So it's like, I'm just trying to, keep us afloat. When he comes back, he's our guy, and that attitude, that mentality is contagious in the locker room.
That's right.
And, that doesn't mean that your role can't change. It doesn't mean that you don't go from the 7th guy on the roster to the 3rd to the 1st. But if you're the 7th guy on the roster, be the best 7th guy on the roster as possible. If that's helping in the pits, making sure people have quick turnarounds, giving good feedback of like what you're seeing out there rather than just kind of moping off in the corner.
Yeah.
And it takes a long time to earn the trust of a coach and just understand that and be patient.
It's intention too. It's the intention behind what you're talking about too. It's deeper. It resonates on a subconscious level. It permeates out into everybody around you. You don't realize what it does, but on a subconscious level, that creates a chemistry and a dynamic of championship-minded players, of a hive mentality. It's all about the hive. You don't see bees pushing each other out of the way to get their honey in first. They're like, all right, go ahead, bringing in the honey for the hive. All right, we're bringing in the honey for the hive, right? So everyone is working together for the same collective goal. And when you have, and if you have a player that isn't, then we need to politely remind them what the collective goal is and how we work here and the way that the chemistry works here, because it's all for the team. It's team-minded, one collective team, and that's the end of the story. Point blank, period. That's what it's all about. That's how you win. Thank you all from the bottom of our hearts for the tremendous support with the PTG show. If you are enjoying these episodes and want to help with the progress and development of this program and connect with like-minded, hungry paintball players, then head on over to ptgpodcast.com, click the orange Patreon link, and become a member of the PTG World Discord chat room. And now back to the show.
100%. Couldn't agree more.
Yep.
All right, let's keep going down that list if we can. I don't know if we get through all of them, but
damage.
Yes.
You guys are up next, and I don't think you're making any changes.
No, there's no reason to. If anything, we're going to be getting Brian Smith back, which is massive. Brian Smith. I'm so excited to play with him, dude. He's been one of my favorite players for a long time. When we had him on the show, I don't know, what was that, a year ago, maybe less. It was like just really enjoyed talking with him. Being out at practices with him, I just have so much respect for who he is as a person. And then, obviously on the field, he's one of the best. And I do think we're also going to get Chad Bougere back, which is huge. Gives us, that middle attack, which really helps. So, we're good.
For people that didn't know, he tore what part? He tore his Achilles.
Brian Smith did.
Or that was Brian Smith. That's Smith, right.
Yeah, Brian Smith.
And how's that been? Is he okay?
Yeah, seems like he's recovering incredibly well, kind of ahead of schedule. He's been out and doing drills and kind of getting back to it. So yeah, he's recovering very well.
Good.
Good. And then Chad Bougere, he, pulled the old, I'm going to retire. And then now it's like, I don't think I want to retire. He actually wanted to play cup, but I don't think Joey was having it. Joey's like, no, you don't get to, leave at the last one and come for the home run derby. But having Chad, Chad is a stud. He's so good, so dynamic.
Yeah, he is. He said, I can't stay away. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, either way, the team is in a great spot. We don't need anything. There's no deficiencies on the roster. So
no, definitely not.
Yeah, it's up to us.
And then we got Tauntauns. We're going to see if they are... if they're going to make it in. Houston Heat has the merger. Still a lot of developing stories going on with that. So we'll see exactly who they're going to keep on the line with NRG. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen there?
Sorry, with Heat and NRG? Yeah. I think
they're going to keep try to keep most of the Heat roster, and keep the core there and then build out. And I'm sure the Blast Camp core as well. They got the great group of guys they picked up from Blast Camp.
Dude, what did I hear about that? And it makes a lot of sense because Heat picked up Cody Mikowski, which is a huge pickup, but that's Jackson's position. So I heard that the Blast Camp guys were going to be going elsewhere. They were going to be leaving Heat, going elsewhere to build kind of the Blast Camp team again. I forgot what team that I heard they were going to take over or merge with.
Probably someone in the local area that they can develop with.
Yeah, I forget which team, but and then Heat was going to build around Mishka, Moorhead, and a few others, and then obviously, like I said, they picked up Cody Mikowski. So I don't know. I don't know if that's true either. Yeah, I don't know about Chad George. I haven't heard his name at all. I guess we will see. We got to wait and see on that.
Yeah, we'll see there, and that's huge news that you just talked about there. Cody Mikowski going over to Houston Heat. That's a big pickup for them. That is a big pickup for them. We kind of talked about, let's see, we got Houston Heat. Oh, Uprising. Uprising finished ahead of Dynasty. Congrats to Uprising. That's a big accomplishment there. And Dynasty, I think this was like one of the roughest seasons I think in the history of the team.
Yeah. I
For
will
the
say
Dynasty.
I kept receipts of this. I got a clip of it somewhere, but I remember after leaving the team last year, Ryan definitely said on their show that he guarantees that Dynasty will place higher in the season long standings than we did in 2024, which was 5th. And so I've been meaning to screenshot their placing and send it to him, all in good fun, of course. I mean, it's funny. I still root for Dynasty. Like I said, like when I heard the news of Mikey, I'm like, Ryan, dude, pick up Mikey, like, please pick up Mikey. I still, care about the organization a
Well, of
lot.
course,
But,
I mean, I was there for almost a decade. You were there for
a decade, 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years. So, of course, when you go into battle with a group for that long, the brotherhood is forever. It's like all these different collectives, and you and I have been so grateful and lucky to play alongside so many great players. So we have good rapport and camaraderie with a good portion of the league. But it's definitely, whenever you have a battle going on and then they throw you a receipt, you're gonna hold on to that one for sure.
100%. I always keep the receipts. Got to do my taxes every year. I keep the receipts. Yeah, exactly.
Damn. Yo, another crazy development is the Fedorov to Hurricane. What are your thoughts on that? That's huge.
Oh, yeah. We did talk
Yeah.
about that, but I agree. I think that's huge. I think it's a very cool pickup. I love that move. I love it. I think it's really cool. I think it's a cool chapter for Fedorov. I think, like, again, if the Hurricanes have a very excited owner that wants to come and build out a real professional program.
Yeah, what is that you're talking about? Building that out. What is that? I haven't heard of that.
So it's like I heard he spent $2 million on this field, and again with like like basically a on-site living quarters, showers, locker rooms, like a real professional
Damn.
field.
Where
so
is it? Do you know is it like a local public field or is it private?
I don't know.
That's really interesting.
Well, I would almost guarantee it's not a local public field. Yeah,
Wow.
There's no way. I don't think it's open to the public.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I want to say Alabama somewhere, but I'm guessing. I don't know.
That's amazing.
We should find out. But it sounds like, again, they're really trying to build something cool. So I think that's awesome. And the Hurricanes are a great group. I hope Bianca gets a chance to go back and coach them. I think very highly of Mike Bianca as a human, and what he did with the Hurricanes was pretty great. So it makes sense.
I agree. Yeah. Completely agree. That'd be huge for them if they can get him back. And then Uprising, I haven't heard any news from them. Probably going to be staying with the same crew, just about there.
Yeah.
So we'll see about that. Yeah. And then Dynasty going through a big merger with Arsenal. Still some developments to happen there. I think that they're going to keep.
That's a huge upgrade for them. Picking up O'Mara, having another weapon in ABJ. That's massive.
Yeah, so they're going to probably keep, because once again, you have two teams, tons of players fighting for spots. I'm sure a lot of the Dynasty guys are going to be on the team still, and then picking up the few power pieces from Arsenal there. So we'll see what shakes out there. And like I said, there's a lot of players from these mergers that are still on the market. They're looking for homes. So we could also see the semi-pro division get bolstered, possibly, with some of these acquisitions from the pro league of players just like, I don't have anywhere to be right now. So
totally.
Can I come rock with your team? So totally. We could see that really boost up the semi-pro division. And what's going to happen with these spots? Are we going to have a new pro team, a semi-pro team? We're going to see what's going to happen here because we have two spots open. Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe more. More. Yeah. So I could see a couple of semi-pro teams being just kind of offered the spot. I mean, we'll see. I don't know what the market is. I don't know if it sounds like all the teams that were interested in buying these pro spots are no longer interested in buying. So what do these programs do that wanted to sell that, now kind of don't have anything, do they just try to field the team to hold on to it for another year, see if things change? I don't know.
Yeah. Yep. We'll see there. Coming in 10th place, Hurricanes. Top 10, baby. Let's go. And with the new acquisition of Fedorov, that's going to be a big boost for the squad. They're working hard, building $2 million establishments to house their players and train. So look for them to make a press into the top end of the pro bracket there. Before we get into the rest of the teams, March, let's show the people the new merch that we just dropped. It was for the PTG for the PTG Discord, PTG World members first. They got exclusive access, but we got the new wavy, ultra wavy tee. I'm actually rocking it right now. You can see it on the screen of YouTube. And then we did
the front.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah, these things are dope.
I love that.
The back goes crazy.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, it's got the waves, and we're going to be looking to make some waves in 2026, getting back out to your local paintball parks and having some fun with everybody. So be on the lookout for that. We've also got the goggle straps. These goggle straps are going crazy. I think we only have like 10 of each one left. So they moved pretty quickly on the drop, but we still have a couple on the site. March, you want to blow up like the blue one or the white one?
Yeah, we can.
Let's see what we got here.
There we go.
There we go. This is the blue. It's got the play the game and the logo all over print there. And then we got a gold variant and a white variant. And then we have, this is the gold one. Dang, that pops. The gold one's dope. People are eating up the white. The white one was going crazy. And then we got the utility bag. We just dropped these as well. At the paintball field, it's a must that you have one of these. Like, I see March, you got the HK fanny pack or the crossbody. You can rock it however you want.
No, yeah, I've been using this one actually.
There we go.
At World Cup, I had it was actually just a Lululemon one at World Cup, but I used this one for a few events this year, and I mean, it fits everything. It really is nice. Yeah, anything you want. You want to put a banana in there, some snacks, some hydration stuff, a little bit of tools, Allen key,
whatever.
Your Zens. I know a lot of you out there are Zenning.
Yep. Zen life. Let's go. So it is really nice when you're walking fields or, you're just out and about at the field and you don't have your gear bag with you or a huge backpack. You can have these nice little utility bags. Those are the drops that we just had. Go check it out. ptgpodcast.com and click the shop tab and you can check all that stuff out. Also, become a member of our community. The Discord is going crazy. That's how you can chat with all of the guests that we have on the show as well. We have a whole channel in there where you can go to the guest questions thread, and we have a bunch of lobbies. And let's see, where's our lobbies at? Discord. I got the Pokey Notify Discord open here. Main lobby of PTG. You got the players chat, new episodes, gear talk, where people they actually have been moving some gear in there as well. If you want. Post up whatever you have. The community all works together to help each other out, try to get those things processed for you all. PB Fashion. We got Rec Ball for the players out there that are new to the sport. News. You can post pictures of yourself and get featured. It's a really cool space to connect with everybody in the paintball world, and we know you will love it. If you want to join, it's on our Patreon at the website as well, that orange Patreon link at ptgpodcast.com. But the GOATs get their own exclusive access stuff, and they have all their channels there, which is a lot of fun.
And the OG GOAT channel is like, if you've been a GOAT for a while and you're really active in the community, you get upgraded to OG GOAT status. That still last year it had all of the breaking news in that channel. We do have a breaking news channel that we do leak stuff to as well, but the OG GOAT channel gets like it gets the stuff that people say to us that are like, don't tell anyone.
It's like a secret society. It's
pretty nice. And then we have
you have to be vetted. We vet them,
100%. And we have the best GOAT holiday party coming up here in December. The Christmas GOAT meeting is always the best one. It's a couple hours and it's just a fun time. We do a ton of giveaways. We've given away guns. We've given away jerseys. We give away all sorts of stuff. I mean, we give away a lot of stuff every single month, but the Christmas party is definitely the best one. So hopefully we will see you guys in there. You still have a couple weeks to sign up. We haven't set a date. We need to set that here pretty soon, but it'll be, I don't know, around the 20th ish, in that range probably.
It might be coming up actually kind of quick. We'll probably do it in a couple weeks here because the week after that is Christmas and then you have New Year. So we'll probably do the December GOAT meeting here in the next couple weeks, maybe around, I don't know, the middle of December, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. That one's a rager. we're drinking hot cocoa. Everyone's got Santa hats on, and these meetings, if you don't know, it's a monthly get together with all the members of the Goat Squad, and we all just hang out, have a lot of fun. It's more personable, it's like just a really fun group that we get to have a great time with. So we'll see you over there in the chat, and hopefully at the next Goat meeting for the Christmas Rager. It's a fun one.
Yes, sir. Let's get to some Discord questions. I know we got some in there that they wanted to ask us. Unless there was anything else, Ty, that you wanted to kind of round out?
No, we got Tampa.
Yeah.
Going to be playing inside Raymond James. Kind of went over that. Pat McKenna steps away from coaching. Pat, thank you for everything that you've done in paintball. He's going to be continuing to do paintball stats. So much love to you, Pat. Worked with you on Heat for quite a while and really appreciate everything you do for the game. Same with Sam Monville. Thank you guys for what you're doing on the stats portion. And there's so many people that are working on that, and we, salute you all for that. We went over the Goat Club Discord. Yeah, we got some new rules possibly for next season. We'll be, breaking that down. We might have Tom Cole on pretty soon. So
I think he's on his annual trip. We were trying to get him on this week, but my text still hasn't gone through. So I think he's like on a safari in Africa somewhere, taking a much needed R&R.
Yeah. God bless him.
We'll try to get him on soon to dive into all that.
Yeah, we'll see if there's some new rules possible. Talk about the paint. We also need to remind him, if we could please just think about going with that neon yellow paintball. I think that would really be good for the visuals for the sport. As we saw at the 3v3 Pro in Florida for ESPN, they used the yellow paintball on that, and it looked amazing. So maybe we could possibly someday do that yellow paint for the Pro League or for all.
Gotta
all
do
of
it.
paintball.
Gotta do it.
I think it looks good.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Mark Paris wants to know, he goes, for both of you, what's something paintball forced you to get brutally good at that nobody claps for, yet it saved you multiple times outside the nets when life's normal challenges have come your way?
That's a really good question. I would have to say just shutting your mouth and being observant and seeing what's going on before reacting and trying to be more creative than reactive. There's a very simple, nuanced spelling differentiation between the two words of reactive and creative. And I think that if you try to be mindful of being creative and thoughtful, as opposed to, just being so moved by things outside of you, right? Things going on, that it has tremendous power. And you learn that really quick in paintball because there's such madness going on to the left and the right of you, and it's mayhem most of the time. So you have to just try to be observant, take what you can, be thoughtful, be mindful, and just move with poise and try to do the best that you can in each moment.
Yeah. Well said. I mean, I'll give my answer here, but that's pretty spot on. I think honestly, and this probably goes for all sports, if you take in the information in this way, but I think it's just being resilient. Sports kind of force you to be able, you either bounce back or you don't. If you have a bad event or a bad point or a bad match, how do you respond? And I think that lesson is really powerful in life. Sports really force you to do that. And paintball is, you can't really hide behind anything other than your bunker, but you can't just like blend in and go with the flow. Like there's so many moments in the game that really put the spotlight on you, and you either succeed or you fail in that moment. And you have to be able to look inward and sometimes it hurts the ego. Sometimes it can be depressing. Sometimes, it doesn't feel good. And so how do you respond in those times? I think, is really powerful. And in life, that is the way that you find success in life, is you find ways to overcome the bad times. So yeah,
I love that.
It's a good question, Mark.
Yeah. Resiliency. Love that. All right. We got Rounder in the house. Shout out Rounder, one of the OGs. And you get this dope holographic like name tag. Their name tag is better than mine in the Discord. They got this.
Ours.
Yeah, I got a like teal blue. No disrespect, I love my teal blue. The blue's great, but they got a holographic one for the OGs. I need some holographic in my life. All right, Rounder. Rounder, one of the OG goats. We appreciate you. Do you think Collision will buy the pro spot? And where is Kyle Spica going? Ooh, I don't know. Yeah, maybe Collision will. We'll see.
Yeah, I know. We kind of touched on this earlier because originally we heard that Mike was looking, but then I heard he wasn't. So I'm not sure. I have no idea, and I haven't personally.
I could see it happening. I could see it happening.
Yeah, I could see it happen. I could see either way. I could see Mike saying, no, we got to earn it. I could also see him saying, we want to have a
get in there.
So yeah, so I mean, we'll see.
I love that. Yeah.
And I have no clue where Kyle's going. I haven't heard anything about that. I'm sure he's kind of just taking this time with, Thanksgiving and stuff to have some time off and then start sorting stuff out. I know there was, some offers to coach Dynasty, which I think would be pretty cool for him. But if he wants to play somewhere, there's still going to be a pretty good selection of teams. So, I don't know. I talked to Kyle briefly on Thanksgiving, but we didn't talk paintball. He FaceTimed and said Happy Thanksgiving, and we just kind of, shot the shit for a little bit. But we shall see. We shall see.
Yep. I mean, anywhere he goes is going to help out. So he'll land somewhere for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man. All right, Center 50 PJ. And also they have a great podcast. If you haven't checked out the Center 50 paintball podcast, go check it out. Yeah, absolutely. For both of you, who would your 4 players be to make up the paintball Mount Rushmore? It can be past, present, or even yourselves. That's a tough question. I read this and I was like, I don't know. I've got like 2 or 3.
Well, I mean, Chris Lasoya and Oliver Lang.
Exactly. Yeah, those are my 2 as well.
Yeah.
Because I would like to keep it past, so you.
I gotta throw Bob Long up there.
I knew you were gonna throw Bob Long up there.
Yeah,
and I don't think I disagree with that either.
He's going up there. Yeah,
man.
Just because of what he did, the guy changed the game. Changed
I agree. I know. I agree.
And then, damn, who do you throw on that 4th spot? Or I mean. Equally as much as I would vote for Bob Long, I would have to vote for Shane Pastana.
Dude, we are in sync. That's literally the 4 that I was like, I think that would be my 4. Shane Pastana was on the damn tip of my tongue, and I was like, is there any Angel? No, I don't know. Too short. Shane transcended the game in many ways. He was one of the best coaches to ever do it. Iconic run, and
I love that
as a player.
Exactly. Yeah, and I love that because you have the new era front runners and the OG front runners,
and then people still playing, obviously Greenspan, when he retires, he's on there, no doubt. And then, I think Fedorov is a good, Fedorov or Malloy representing Russia and what they've overcome and what they've accomplished in the game is spectacular.
And of course, I mean, yourself right here, man, you'd be going up there.
Both of us, man, we have careers to finish first. That's why I don't like those conversations, because I'm still working on my career. It's not, I feel like you can't be in that conversation until it's all said and done, in all honesty, absolutely. Right? It depends on how you look at when people talk about who's the GOAT of a sport. That's why I don't think anyone will ever, I guarantee you there will be better basketball players than Michael Jordan in the future, but there will never be another GOAT in my opinion.
It's about the time.
It's about everything, like what you meant to the league, the star power that you brought, and everything goes into it, for me at least, and these are sports. Everybody's entitled to their opinions on this stuff. You can be the guy that says, well, no, it's only statistics, and this person has more points, this person has more assists, or it's only about championships, or it's only about, I think it's everything. When you're having those discussions, I think the career is all encapsulating. So I don't know. It's curious. There's a lot of, obviously.
I think we got a solid 4 there. That was a solid lineup.
That's a great lineup. It's a great lineup.
All right. We got Logan. We kind of talked about that one. Mikey, we'll see where he is going to land. I love what you brought up there, March Fit. Could see that come to life. And then B-Town wrote a novel. B-Town. I love it. You really went the distance. I summarized it here. He's talking about, paintball is kind of facing financial sustainability type of stuff. He said a new structure might be needed. He's wondering, what is a structure that we can implement? Maybe one that keeps true X-ball but lowers the cost, improves spectator experience. So he's talking about regional conference models where teams play mostly locally, like on a weekly basis or bi-weekly, OG style X-ball matches, longer format type stuff. And then
Yeah.
you end with a World Cup playoff. So it would help like cut travel costs, make travel simpler to your local areas, improve the gameplay with a longer halves, no mercy rule, deeper strategy, that kind of stuff, and offer maybe a little bit more broadcast friendly. What do you think about this idea?
I just don't like it. In the future, maybe. Now, the reason I don't like it is because you have to understand the way that everything is intertwined right now.
Yeah.
The league can't support that. You know, the league needs to have these tournaments. That's where they make their money, having all the divisional teams also there. And the divisional teams are partially there because the pro teams are there. You know, if you were to set up this idea from B-Town, you know, it would obviously originally have to start out at local paintball parks. You can make the argument that that's really good for parks in that area. But I'll tell you what, professional players do not want to go and compete at a paintball park the way paintball parks currently stand. When we show up to an NXL event, it feels like a professional setting. It's inspiring to play there. Playing at the World Cup grounds is inspiring to play at. Unfortunately, there's not really any paintball fields that give you that feeling. Not yet. Now, in the future, like if you really do build out, and he did mention this, if you build out like this $2 million facility that wherever it is, that might be like one of the locations. But now you're talking about a lot of money that each of these regions and organizations has to put into building something on something that's not going to create any return. So I think this is one of those ideas that just is good. It's just way ahead of its time. It's something that will have to be implemented years down the road. This would also probably be a separation of divisional paintball and professional paintball, which I'm a fan of. It just doesn't work with the business model right now. You know, eventually I think that would be ideal. This idea is
he's in the
just
future.
Too early. Yeah, he's in the future on it. Yeah. And this would be very cool to eventually have something like this. But yeah, and the reality of it working isn't there.
Yeah, not at this current moment in time. But even my dad talks about this. B-Town, you and my dad would have a great conversation because he's like, you know, we gotta someday they're gonna build the arenas, and then you have all the infrastructure in place for the filming. You have a studio, you know, all these things at these particular spots. And maybe it starts with one. You know, maybe we build one somewhere in the country and that becomes a hub spot. And then maybe 10 years down the line, someone else says, hey, we're gonna build one over here. And now we got two. And we can do a conference or, you know, but it's a very futuristic idea. I love it, B-Town. Thank you so much for putting that in the chat.
For sure. Yeah, no doubt. This one from Fab. Do you guys think there should be a rule change for Sunday's bracket? It seems like we frequently see upsets where a lower team wins the quarterfinals match because they already played a game that day and won in the wild card round. Essentially, they're warmed up. I'm going to go ahead and say no. I still think it's an advantage. I love being able to watch. If being warmed up is your excuse, then I think you as an athlete or team didn't prepare properly. I would rather be fresh, actually, you know, and knowing that like the wild card team has to win 4 games on Sunday, I'll tell you what, it's not easy. It's a very tough thing to do. So if you do get to the finals and I'm playing against the wild card team, I feel like there's a little bit of an advantage there, just from an endurance standpoint. Usually, if especially if the weather is bad. World Cup, it wasn't much of an issue because the weather was so great. But I would rather be able to watch the teams that are playing on Sunday because that's the best scouting that you're going to get. You know, everything leading up in the prelims is like, you know, teams are still trying to figure out exactly what they want to do. And Sunday, you're really seeing what they want to do. So I personally think it's an advantage to be able to watch that game and prepare and then go into it. I understand the sentiment, though, because it's always a talking point. But I just personally have never felt that it's been a disadvantage. What about you?
You got to show up. It doesn't matter, you know, doesn't matter. Show up. And I love what you said about watching your opponent before you even get to play them, and you get real good data on them as well. Yeah. So, or data, I guess, depends on where you're at in the world.
I like data.
Yeah.
Sometimes I use data, but I like data. Data. I think sounds more professional.
All right. Data it is. Dada.
Data.
Yeah. So I don't think, obviously, they get to get some reps in. But like I said, when I first speaking about it, you got to show up, man. If you're going to do it, do it. If you're not, don't do it. You know, show up and get the job done. Go out there and work as hard as you possibly can. I don't think that should be a good excuse for for like taking away that entire opportunity of a team to be able to play on Sunday morning and possibly move into the tournament and maybe win it. You know, they wake up on that morning, barely make it in, and they say, all right, we're going to do this today. We're going to show up. We're going to get the job done. So I think we got to keep it the same for sure.
Agreed.
All right. We got, Did It Hurt decided to sound off. What do you got, Did It Hurt? If you haven't checked out the Did It Hurt podcast, you got to go check him out. He's making beats. He's having fun. In your opinion, not count teams' results, what wins or what is happening? Did it hurt?
And everybody wonders why he's in PTG jail.
He's in jail right now.
For everyone, I will say he went on an epic run with those memes. I was dying. That was so funny. In your opinion, not count teams' results, wins or losses, was this World Cup, as far as layouts, action, and atmosphere, the best in a long time? I think I know what he's getting to.
It was entertaining.
This year's layout was very entertaining. Yeah, absolutely. I think the layout played pretty fun. I think it was. I still think it could have been better, but I think it was probably the best layout of the season. And it was fun. It was entertaining. I think there were some very exciting games. Yeah.
I know. I played the Dorito side the entire tournament, and then Sunday morning when we played against you guys, I was like, I'm going over here. I'm going into the snake. And I'm sure when we lined up on the box, you guys were like, oh wait, what? He's going that way. Okay. But I went into the wedges and all that stuff, and it was a good time in there. It was fun. Very creative. You could get very creative.
Yeah.
And the Dorito side was fun as well, but you could only go so far. The back center locks you up pretty good. Yeah. There's ways of locking it up, and then also, like I said, you can just only go so far. Didn't really bite that hard, but you could really bite pretty hard on that snake side. And the center was really dynamic on both sides of the center. Saw a lot of people dropping in from the Dorito side into those wedges there, and same with the snake side. So really, really great job on the field development and the way that played out. Excited to see the new bunker and the way that we lay out event number 1 heading into Tampa. It's going to be a good time.
Same. All right, T, got to wrap up here, but last question from the Discord is from CM Harry. He goes, what's the biggest move that we don't have a clue about that you guys do? Well, CM Harry, that'll be in the OG GOAT channel.
Yes, sir. You already know.
That'll be in the OG GOAT channel. Can't share it here.
No, join us. Step into the PTG realms. It's a good time. Yeah. And March, happy Monday to you. Happy December to you and everybody out there. Make it great.
December 1st. Oh,
it's December.
It's the best. Yep. Santa's sleigh ride is going on in the Tesla. We got the lights up. So already decorated the whole house. I think Stan's around here somewhere.
Dudes, we have Swizzle. He's in the house.
Swizzle. Nice.
Yeah, Swizzle's a menace, bro. The little elf on the shelf guy. Yeah. Swizzle.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. We bought one for Ryan last year, and he sent me a video yesterday, and he's like, dude, best gift ever, because he just presented it again to Sloan, but the note is like, well, you better be good and watch your younger brothers and listen to mom, because I report back to the North Pole to Santa every single night. And Sloan's reading it, and she's like, oh gosh, I got to be on my best behavior. Yeah, it's a brilliant gift. I mean, dude, Christmas is
brilliant.
The holidays are hilarious. The marketing behind it, like I've just been thinking the amount of money that people spend every year in December.
It's just crazy.
It really is.
Oh my God.
But you don't have to. For anyone that's listening, please understand. Honestly, I've
this
really
is important. What you're about to say.
I've really learned this. Do whatever you can to just spend time with the people you care about. That is the ultimate gift. Time together is the ultimate gift. It's
not stuff.
Not stuff. Yeah. You can't buy time together. You can't. And one day you'll be in a place where you really wish you could. So do whatever you can to just, if you're stressed about not being able to buy things for people. My mom, I feel so bad. She literally has not shown up to Christmas before because she's embarrassed about the gifts that she brings. And I'm like, that's way worse, Mom. Now we don't get to see you and spend time with you. I don't want anything. I don't care to have anything other than your presence and you to be happy here, and it's powerful. Like, people do get in their own heads that way, but don't.
Well, it's easy to, because of the way that the constructs of society make us feel. But just if we could leave one one message on this show. It's what you're talking about right now. It's about time. It's about eyes. It's about seeing eyes, being there and connecting in those types of ways. It's more important than anything, any stuff ever will be. So cherish those moments and go make them, go create them, go create those moments.
Yeah. And a really good way to make the holidays affordable too is, if you're going to have like 10 people in the family, just do like a white elephant thing where everybody buys a $20 gift, a $50 gift, whatever is within your guys' means. And that means you only have to buy one gift and everyone comes together and you can play different games with who gets the gift. Just look up the rules. It's kind of fun. You can like steal gifts, but then you only have to purchase one gift. You don't have to get a gift for 10 different people and everybody's on the same page. And it brings people kind of together and it relieves some of the stress of the holidays. But everybody, thank you guys for listening and rocking with us. We can't wait to see you soon. And big month for PTG. The GOAT meeting is going to be awesome. And we'll see you guys next week.
Yep. And we'll see everyone in the chat and have a great week. Be safe out there. We'll see you soon.
Yes.
Peace.
All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening to the show. We appreciate your support more than you know. As you guys heard about midway through the episode, if you guys would like to support PTG in any way, you could head over to ptgpaintball.com. You could click the orange Patreon link and sign up at any level and get access to our Discord. The Discord is one of the most phenomenal communities in the game of paintball. We have so many different channels in there. It's great for learning. It's great for connecting, finding teams, selling equipment, whatever it is you want to do in there. We truly have it all. And we hope to see you in there. So again, head over to ptgpaintball.com, click the orange Patreon link, and we will see you in there.